New at 6, the University of Alabama in Huntsville is restoring old recordings from the Apollo program that were starting to deteriorate. The restoration is part of an $18,000 grant the school received. WAAY 31's Steven Dilsizian shows us how these important pieces of history were almost lost forever.
UAH has more than 200 recordings related to the Apollo missions, including the first moon landing. Now they're all being restored.
Cassette tapes, open reel audio tapes, and micro cassette tapes, largely of oral history interviews relating to the Apollo program.
An archivist at the University of Alabama in Huntsville, Drew Aiden has a passion for history. As he and his team analyzed some historical recordings from the Apollo program, they knew time was running out to save them.
Built into the actual format is are chemicals that over time, as they degrade and off-gas, it can make these media formats no longer playable.
Aiden tells me mold started to grow on some films that could have potentially destroyed them. In April, the university received a grant called Recordings at Risk that addresses this exact problem. The recordings will be cleaned and preserved through digitalization, a process that converts the audio recordings into a computer format. That way, they can be heard forever.
We think digitizing these and putting them out will generate the demand. I think up until this point, not a lot of people are aware of the collections that we have.
Aiden tells me this form of preservation also reduces the need to use original copies, ultimately protecting them. I'm told the recordings contain old interviews with rocket scientists during the testing of the Saturn V. One of the tapes show family moments of Konrad Dannenberg, a German-born engineer who was part of Wernher von Braun's team. Aiden says these are parts of history that must be saved.
So these films kind of offer an unprecedented look into family life of the folks that worked on the Apollo program.
In Huntsville, Steven Dilsizian, WAAY 31 News.
Once those